And Justin, I guess the first place we go with this is talking about yesterday's loss and put you guys at 4-5-1 on the season.
Yeah. No, it's definitely tough. We've obviously dug ourselves in a steep hole, and at this point, it's do or die every game. Coach has been saying that every game is pretty much a playoff game at this point, so we gotta, put whatever extra effort we got to, any extra studying, any extra work we can do off the field, on the field, to get us those wins.
What was the plane ride home last night coming after that game? What was it like? What's the team feeling? What are they feeling like?
I think as a team, we just feel like you get tired of just being so close to giving yourself to being, at the end of the game, having a chance to win and not being able to come through with it, especially, the last couple seasons, we've been able to win those games. And I think we just, as a team, we feel like we just need to come together. And as long as we stay together as a team and don't, let any outside source distract us, I think we'll be able to pull it together.
Looking at some comments here now, just, Seahawks don't have a good offensive line. They're winning. They have a mobile quarterback. What do we need to do? I mean, is it the defense is number one in the NFL right now, right? So is it about offense right now coming together?
It's hard to say that. You can't really compare two teams and this O-line it might not be good. It's the personnel, how they gel together, what the scheme is can be totally different. So it's hard to compare teams when they're not going off this, they don't have the same exact scheme and the same personnel. I think, our offense they're doing enough to, they're getting enough points to win games. And as a defense, we statistically, we're having great games, but it's those 2 or 3 plays that end up turning into scoring plays, and I think once we cut those down, regardless of the offense can score a whole bunch or not, if they don't score, they can't win. So I think as of right now, that's the defensive mentality we're trying to keep and go with.
In the secondary, for the DBs, has it taken a while to kind of get used to each other? Because there were some changes, right, in the defensive backfield.
Yeah, there's definitely some changes, but there's a lot of familiar faces, and I think the group we have, we're all really close. And when we get new guys, they just kind of follow into it, and we all just end up being really close together. So I don't think it makes it too hard when we get new guys.
Frank Galarza says the season's not over. You're not officially out of the playoffs, so I still have faith and believe in the Cards playing football and having some fun. I mean, do you guys look at the standings like we do? Do players go and say, "Oh my gosh, this is where we are in the standings"?
I try not to. I kind of just take every game. I mean, I know
You're aware of it.
Yeah, you're aware of it, but you try not to look too far ahead because either that it can be bad. You start looking far ahead, like, oh well, we got to beat these guys, and you forget about the people you're playing ahead of you. So I think we just trying to take it a game at a time. We harp on everything being a day at a time, play at a time, snap at a time, everything, just taking it, a day at a time.
So we talked about this earlier on TV, but Coach Arians in the hospital after you guys get back from Minnesota. What's the latest from you guys that you guys have heard?
That he's doing well, and he'll be back with us very soon.
So on TV earlier, I asked you about the Presbyterian Blue Hose.
Yeah.
We got to go back to that because coming out of high school, you weren't necessarily thinking college football, were you at that time?
Not exactly. Definitely not football. Was thinking culinary arts. I was going to walk on to football to help pay for school, not to go to the NFL. But, God kind of had other plans, so I ended up at Presbyterian College, and it's kind of been all she wrote from there. Just
when you heard the call from the Cardinals, what was going through your mind as a Presbyterian football player?
It was amazing, especially coming from the small school. Like we only had 1,300 kids, so it was pretty much a high school. Yeah, it's pretty much a high school. We didn't really have a good record, and seeing that they was able to find me, from a small school, and think that I was doing good enough to, to play with the team and be just help the team win in some kind of way. I was honored, and I was, I'm glad to be able to come out here, and help the team win.
You got that first rookie contract and then a second contract with the Cardinals. So what's it like for your folks, your family? Has this been like surreal almost?
I think so. I think it took my parents a little while getting used to it. My dad, he always tells me he's my number one fan. I call him every day. My mom, she's funny because she's like, I don't know what's ever going on. She said, if you're not on the field, I really don't know what's going on. But I think there's a lot of moms like that. But no, they've embraced it, and we're all enjoying it. And you just try and take care of your family because this game doesn't last forever.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to have a fruitful life after football.
So what happened to the culinary arts concept? Where's that idea?
Well, once I got to college, there was no kitchen for me to cook in, so that kind of slowed me down. I think I still can cook if I need to, but I think I started trying to focus more on my music stuff than anything.
Music?
Yeah.
Okay,
music.
tell us about that.
Oh yeah, that's kind of my thing. I got like a little studio at my house,
Really?
a couple drum sets, pianos, guitar, pretty much anything
You
you
play
need.
all the instruments?
I can play around with them. Drums, I can play. Everything else, I can kind of mess around with. I want to take lessons at some point. But, yeah, my whole family, everybody does music. My dad, piano, brother, trumpet, older brother, piano. So everybody kind of plays something. They all can sing. They all pretty much do something.
You sing too?
I sing for fun. Yeah.
In the shower singing?
Yeah, I'm a shower singer.
You guys tell you to knock it off in the locker room. So did you learn as an early age to play drums, or what happened?
So I grew up in church, and my dad was always the music minister. So when I was around 6, I started off playing the bongos, and then I kind of found my way onto the drums. And I just kind of been playing ever since.
The bongos, right?
Yeah.
I think most of us had a set of bongos as a little kid, right?
See, they used to trick me though. They used to let me play like during the service, and I had like a little mic sitting there. I was like, oh yeah, I'm playing. Everybody can hear me. And then come to find out later, the mic was never on. They just had me up there. I was like, okay.
The mic is not plugged in, folks. Wow, I didn't know that about you. The musical background.
Yeah.
That's cool. So maybe a future in music then?
I think so. Right now, I would love to, if I could just go and play the drums somewhere off into the sunset, that would be awesome.
Wow. Just play the drums off in the sunset. with it maybe a professional band.
Yeah, not just me by myself.
Former NFL star, Justin Bethel on drums tonight. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So is that what you do in your spare time, or what else do you do in your recreational time?
I like movies. I try to go see pretty much every movie that comes out.
Last movie you saw, though?
The last movie I saw was Fantastic Beasts. No, actually, I can't say that because I was watching Finding Dory on the airplane on the way back. So that's the last movie I saw.
That's true confessions right there, watching Finding Dory.
It was a good movie. Almost got me.
So I got to ask you, I got a couple questions here from the audience, and I know a couple of these guys are here every week, right? There they are.
What's up, guys?
So this one from Dominic. Who's your favorite team you play against?
My favorite team to play against, even though they're like our rivals, is Seattle, especially when we play there. The atmosphere of playing there is just, I think that always is, anytime we play them, I think it's a real tough game, and I think a lot of people get excited for it. So I think that's one of the, that being our team, like, it's like, okay, we got to beat these guys no matter what. I think that's my favorite team to play against.
That's a crazy stadium, too. It's loud.
Yes, very crazy. Very loud. Yeah.
And then we've got Xavier. You ready? Okay. Who's your idol cornerback? Who'd you idolize growing up?
So growing up, I didn't really watch football. Yeah. I kind of got into football just to, because my parents would say I was a troubled kid. But growing up, we watched like the Super Bowl and stuff as family, but we didn't really have like a team or anything. And once I got to the league, I got to meet a lot of great players and see a lot of great players. And I think for me, I get to play with one of the best in the league right now, and that's Patrick. So I definitely try to, learn as much as I possibly can from him.
You faster than him?
Right now, maybe not. But I think we both 100%, I might get him.
On a good day?
Yeah, on a good day, I think I'll get him. Yeah.
Favorite movie recently, other than Finding Dory?
The movie we were talking about, The Accountant. If you haven't seen The Accountant, please go see it. It is so good.
Yeah, great
so
twist at
the
end.
Very, very good.
Very good movie. Yeah. Ben Affleck is awesome in it.
Yeah.
So right now, where this team is, 6 games to go, on the road, the majority of those games. You got to go to Atlanta next Sunday. What do we need to see? I mean, we got to shut down the opposing offense.
Yeah, I mean, they're one of the best offenses in the league right now. So as one of the top defenses, we gotta shut them down and give our offense as many chances and as many opportunities to score. And that's just not defense. That's on special teams too. Obviously, last game, that return didn't help out. So we gotta step it up on special teams too. And I think if we all just do what we gotta do on each phase of the game, I think we'll come out.
When did you know as a kid that football was going to be your sport? When did you get that sense of, hey, I can play this game?
Like just play it for fun, or like
no,
NFL?
like I could. Well, I don't know about NFL, but just I can play this game. Did you get that sense that?
So it's funny. So the only reason I even started playing football was because one of my friends, we used to play in the backyard all the time. He was like, "Hey, I play for this rec league." He's like, "Yeah, you should come." I'm the quarterback, and I used to play receiver. So he's like, "Yeah, and I'll just throw you the ball."
Tackle football?
Yeah, we used to tackle. So he was like, "Yeah, just come out," and I was like, "Okay, cool." And then in middle school, I didn't really plan on it, but I wanted to join band. But what happened was I missed the date, and I was like, "Well, I guess I'll just go join for the football team and see how that goes." And then and so I kept playing. Got to high school, and I was always like a backup guy. I always ended up starting by somebody got hurt or something and they needed me to come in. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then I ran track, I wrestled, and then I pretty much once I got to college, I was like, "Okay, yeah." And I was like the guy. I was like, "Okay, yeah." So pretty much, I guess you could say, it was late high school, college.
And then you getting into the NFL. Did you realize at some point, hey, I might be able to make it here in this league too?
That probably came like a year or so in. I remember my rookie year, because I got drafted as a safety, and I just remember thinking, "Oh my goodness, there's no way I'm gonna make this team. I don't know what's going on. I don't know none of these calls." And I always kind of knew I was good at special teams, and so for me it was like, "Okay, Justin, you gotta dominate on special teams," and I was able to do that, and that gave me the chance to get my skills as a corner and everything else, up to par to where I felt like, okay, I know I can play with these guys and I can do what I need to do.
Well, Justin, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. It's been fun having you out here at the Big Red Brew House and on our Facebook. We appreciate that. Best of luck to you and the team the rest of the day, right?
Thank you very much.
Justin Bethel here, folks.